Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Devin and I farm in south central Wisconsin with my family. We have a lot of stuff going on around here. One thing, I just got back from vacation 2 days ago. I just took a couple days just to get away. We just finished up corn silage. You can see the pits behind me. There's one more just like it across the road that is also full. So after that we hauled some manure. We put our winter wheat in. We put about 38 to 40 acres of winter wheat in last week. It's kind of a lot of running around, so I didn't get any footage or anything. I really would have liked to get some action on that sunflower field finisher. I ran that the one night. I think about it and then I kind of forget about it, and then stuff doesn't always go according to plan. So anyways, I'm gonna walk around. We actually have quite a few things that I haven't talked about that have happened. So right now we're standing in the back shed. What's happening with the goats? Well, got my buck there. He should be doing his job, hopefully. I brought every single goat of breeding age is in this pen right now. And I don't know if I can focus you. That's a lot of goats. I believe there's close to 30 in here. Did a little bit of hay last week as well. Not a whole lot. A couple jobs. Started looking at the baler here and this main chain here, which I've been thinking about replacing it for this last couple years. I had it in to get worked on, and he didn't. I guess he decided it didn't need to be replaced, so we didn't replace it. But anyways, looking in here, I don't know if you can see that. A lot of the teeth on this, here's one that's still on, but a lot of them teeth are broken off on that sprocket in there. The other sprocket, the sprocket down there looks good, and the idler or tightener sprocket also looks good. But I started looking at it because I couldn't get the chain any tighter, so I was going to have to either shorten the chain or get a new chain. And I realized that I'm missing some teeth, so we're gonna. I ordered the chain and the sprocket. I have the chain. I'm waiting on the sprocket. That should be here. I think he said tomorrow morning, but it's really no hurry. I'm gonna try and do this myself as well. We need to measure these springs. I need to take these all apart. This is a slip clutch here, if you're unfamiliar. And then I'm not really sure. Hopefully this pulls out semi-easy. And then I think the sprocket is then bolted onto the back of that. So we'll deal with that hopefully this week. We're starting to look at some bean straw. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of soybeans that are ready to go. So it might be a few days. That's okay. This tractor we've been using a lot, trying to put hours on it. The lease is up the end of October sometime. So we've been hooking and unhooking and everything else. So we're gonna walk out here. This is another project that needs to happen like now, but kind of fighting with the weather. Is this barley and peas out here that we're gonna bale up and we're gonna wrap it And I'm either going to feed it to the goats again or we're going to sell it. I have second crop new seeding over there that's wrapped as well. But this stuff, you can see we're just starting to head out here. Ideally, I probably would have did it probably this weekend, this last weekend. This stuff is real nice and tall. It's up to my waist, so we're talking probably close to 3 feet or so. And I don't know how it is. It is a little shorter in other spots, but this needs to get cut down as soon as possible. Ideally, you want it just as it's heading out, or I would say just before. And we're literally, this should be on the ground, but I don't have the weather to justify doing that right now. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't think it's gonna rain much, but it ain't gonna dry. Maybe I really need to look into that and just we can cut it, ted it out. If it isn't gonna rain, cut it, ted it, and just kind of deal with it. And then as soon as we can, we'll get it baled up. I'm gonna try this year. We're gonna try and get it nice and wet, nice, about that. Let's just say 50% moisture. Last year, I ended up baling at about 6 in the morning, just to try and capture a little bit more moisture. I'd really like to get this stuff nice and green and see a little bit more fermentation with that. More sitting there ready. So walking in the shop here, lots of stuff to talk about here. As you can see, that's new. That's new. So I don't know where to start here. I guess we'll start over here. So if you know what this is, you're probably a little excited. At least I am excited kind of about it. This is a sheep or goat hoof trimming chute. If you haven't seen these, kind of encourage you to find a YouTube video or something like that, just to kind of see how they work. And I might actually have to look one up for myself. So yeah, I guess just a little brief talk here about it. So the goats will enter in one side of the chute here. I'll have to, this is hard with one hand. So they'll enter in and get kind of squeezed in here, nice and snug. Obviously you don't want to like cram them in there tight. Once they're in there, I can't do this because I got the wheels on. These wheels actually flip up, and they will drop it down. Once you get them dropped down, they'll pull out. So anyways, it would be dropped down, the wheels would be off. Once you get the goat in there, you got this little peg here you step on, and I can't really do it right now, but basically you roll the goat on its side. The bottom here then will flip open, and you can trim hooves without physically throwing the goat on a table and picking up the legs and just back breaking work in a way. So yeah, I found this. This was actually on, I believe, Facebook Marketplace. I found this, and I paid too much for it. I will admit that. I actually got them down. I think I got them down a ways. The frame on this is twisted, um, just slightly, and I didn't realize that until I started kind of playing with it. And so when you wanted to roll it, it didn't exactly want to, um, it kind of got jammed in a way. Um, so I was kind of irritated with it because I gave them an offer. They didn't like it. I ended up paying a little bit more than I wanted to. Um, and then I get home and there's kind of stuff wrong with it. However, I started kind of playing with it. You can see the 2x4s underneath there. If I pull the 2x4s out and I set it on the ground, you can tell because it'll kind of rock a little bit that, say, one corner is sticking up a little bit. However, when I stick the 2x4s under and drop it down, then it sits solid. I think it kind of adjusts it. Would you guys knock it off? It kind of straightens itself out, and then you're able to turn it freely, and so that's it's good to know. I'm just gonna have to do some kind of some work with it, and gonna have to figure out some sort of chute to put up to it, and like a crowding pin or something like that. I guess we'll have to figure that out when we get there. As far as anything else in here, not a lot has changed other than that back there. I got some lumber here, kind of taking some more panels off the wall. When I get to that point, we're gonna start framing up between the trusses and start to insulate. My goal of getting a door in that side this fall, I really don't know. Stuff is just not cooperating in a way. So we got some lumber to get a little bit of a start on it. We got some lights hung here. My brother was here this weekend and did a bunch. We have this in the corner. This is going to be a little office corner. I have decided it's gonna be insulated in here, and it's gonna be heated. Obviously, I think I'm just gonna put a little heater in here. We kind of extended this loft, which I wanted. I wanted more storage up there, and it actually worked quite well. And so we framed it up. I used plywood on the outside. I think I'm gonna try and I'm gonna put something a little bit more fancy, I think, on the inside on the walls. And obviously those two walls are gonna need to be insulated one way or another. I think I'm just gonna use probably foam board and stick it on there. He was in here, he wired up, my brother wired up. I put 4 lights in here. I don't know why he did that. I don't need 4 lights in here. It's like blinding. But it is what it is. The plan is to have the grease in here. I think a lot of the battery powered tools and such, have them in here. Then when it gets cold, they're in more of a warm area. This should always be heated. That's my plan anyways. I got some cupboards there that came out of the house. So, new purchase here. We had to do a little bit of fabricating on it. If anybody wants a goat, dead or alive, there she is. So, we purchased this wagon. Dad found this on Craigslist for a really good price, and so yeah, we went down, we picked it up, took an afternoon and picked it up. It needed some work done to it. We had our local welder kind of fix that up for us. And it's a Minnesota 375 with the top extension on it. So pretty good sized wagon. We were a little disappointed. We went and got some distillers today with it for the first time. We didn't load it. Oh, really that full. We were a little nervous with. We didn't want to overload the truck because we pull out with the truck to go to that because it's a little ways away. Our old wagon's sitting over there, which isn't really just like a brand new wagon, I guess technically. See, we thought this wagon, you look at this wagon, you look at that wagon, this wagon looks a lot bigger. It's got the bigger tires on, which is nice. We were hoping we'd get, I don't want to say a lot more, but get more on this wagon, and it ended up being close to the same. Now we didn't really overload this wagon, so we figured we could get close to maybe 7 ton on. I guess we're gonna just have to figure that out the next time we go. Have him kind of loaded up and mounted up a little bit, but so yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with this wagon, if we're gonna sell it. It is a good wagon. You can get pretty decent money for these, which is kind of why we ended up purchasing that, just because of the price that it was at. Wasn't really an arm and a leg to buy it. So we do got this wagon. Not sure what we're gonna do with it yet, but so yesterday, this is another Craigslist find. It's amazing what you can find if you're on there. Dad found, so these were part of it. Guy had a whole bunch of gates for sale, and he had these, it's a feeder panels, I guess you'd call them. These all kind of connect into a rectangle, and basically it's a bale feeder. And so he had these, so we decided, you know what, we'll do it, we'll take it. There's four sections here. And over here we got the rest of the gates. We bought, I think, five 16 footers and 4 12 footers. These are those continuous panels that we purchased a while back. Wow, lots of purchases. And you know, honestly, they're not, I wouldn't say big purchases. Coming out here, we've been working on this cow fence, and I don't know how well you can see it, but we're trying to get this done. We want to get the cows moved up here to get them preg checked, and we're going to move the bull along, I think. So 20-foot panels, so there's a post every 20 foot, and there's then little pipes that slide into the gates that you stick in between then. And so we got most of this pen done. It goes all the way down, zoom in there. So that's the end. We're gonna put a gate down on that end there. We gotta nail some boards across or put a gate or something, but then it comes up this side, and it goes all the way up there. I think we're gonna need another gate there. And then we got to do the front side here. We got to do some cleanup first. Do that, and then what we're gonna do, so we got the gates here. We're gonna put a single strand of electric fence in front, on the post in front of the gates, just to keep, you know, they're pretty tough gates here, I would say. But I mean, they're not the toughest thing in the world, but you put a wire in front of that, and I mean, they're really gonna help. And you know, really something to think about, because we're putting these across the road as well. Maybe just knocking in a T-post in the middle, and you know, then it would be even tighter. But anyways, giving you guys the update here. We're gonna try and have this done here. I want to have this done this week. I want to get them cows up here. For one thing, the pasture is completely depleted. I mean, they're really having to search for anything to eat, and problem is I want to feed them, but I don't want to feed them in case I move them up here all of a sudden. Really, another day out here, clean up a little bit, and we'll put up, I think we're putting gates up as well, and up in front here. And then once we get that done, we got to do a little bit of work in the barn, and then we can run them up here. And then we're gonna pregnancy check them, make sure the bull did his job, and we're gonna move the bull along, because we don't have a place to put him right now throughout the winter. So we're gonna move him along. Them heifers behind the barn, behind the house or the shop, there's 5 heifers back there. We're gonna run them up with the cows as well. And I also have a steer out in the pasture as well that needs to steer calf that needs to get thrown into one of these yards. But that'll happen hopefully this week. If not this week, we'll try and get it next week. Harvest, as far as corn and beans go, should happen. We're going to start up, I think, next week with the beans, and soon after that we're going to jump right into high moisture corn. We are filling both silos this year, so got a lot of that to do. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I've talked long enough. Who knows, this might be 2 videos. And I hope to see you all next time.